Picture this: they rejected you. Maybe it was a friend, a lover, or even an opportunity you poured your heart into. Instead of begging for answers or lashing out, you chose silence. At first, it felt powerful, like a quiet act of self-respect. But what if that silence is doing more than protecting you? What if it's hurting them in ways you never imagined? What if, right now, they're wrestling with the weight of your absence, questioning everything? In this video, we're diving deep into the Stoic approach to rejection, how silence can be both your greatest weapon and, at times, an unintended dagger. Stay with me, because by the end of this, you'll see rejection and your response to it in a way you never have before. Rejection is a universal human experience. Whether in relationships, friendships, jobs, or personal ambitions, we all face moments of being turned away. How we respond to rejection defines not only our character but also our emotional well-being. In today's world, silence has become one of the most powerful responses to rejection. The question is, does this silence serve as a tool for strength and self-preservation, or does it cause harm to others? Through the lens of Stoicism, we can explore how silence after rejection can be both a tool for self-mastery and, at times, a source of unintended pain for others. Stoicism, a philosophy rooted in rational thought, self-control, and resilience, teaches that external events, including rejection, are beyond our control. What we do control is our response. The Stoic approach to rejection encourages us to detach from the emotional turmoil that often accompanies being turned away. Epictetus, a key Stoic philosopher, reminds us, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. This perspective shifts our focus from the act of rejection itself to how we process and respond to it. While emotional pain is natural, indulging in resentment, bitterness, or despair only prolongs suffering. Instead, Stoicism teaches us to accept rejection with grace and move forward without attachment. When faced with rejection, silence can be a powerful response. Instead of retaliating with anger, pleading for validation, or allowing rejection to consume our thoughts, a Stoic response involves embracing silence as a tool for self-discipline and emotional control. 1. Silence demonstrates self-control. A core Stoic virtue is self-control. Responding to rejection with silence rather than emotional outbursts or desperate pleas reflects inner strength. Marcus Aurelius, in Meditations, advised, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Silence shows that we do not allow external rejection to dictate our emotional state. 2. Silence prevents further emotional distress. Engaging in arguments or dwelling on rejection often deepens emotional wounds. When we remain silent, we avoid unnecessary conflicts and the negative emotions they bring. By choosing silence, we prevent ourselves from saying things we might later regret. 3. Silence as a form of reflection. Silence provides the space needed for self-reflection. Instead of impulsively reacting to rejection, Stoicism encourages us to examine our emotions, assess our expectations, and reframe our perspective. Was the rejection truly personal, or was it circumstantial? What can we learn from the experience? By reflecting in silence, we gain clarity and wisdom. While silence can be a powerful Stoic response, it can also be perceived as hurtful by those who have rejected us. The unintended consequence of our silence may cause confusion, guilt, or regret in the other person. 1. Silence can be misinterpreted as indifference. In some cases, silence may be interpreted as apathy. If someone expected an emotional response or closure, our lack of communication might be perceived as a sign that we never cared in the first place. While Stoicism teaches detachment, it does not advocate for cruelty. Being mindful of how our silence affects others is essential. 2. Silence can cause unresolved guilt. Sometimes, people reject others not out of malice but due to their own personal struggles. If we respond with complete silence, they may be left with unresolved guilt, wondering if they caused deep harm. This can create unnecessary emotional distress on both sides. 3. Silence can end relationships abruptly. There are situations where rejection does not have to mean a permanent end. Friendships and professional relationships, for example, may still have value even after a form of rejection. A complete withdrawal of communication may close the door forever, even when reconciliation or understanding is possible. Stoicism does not advocate for silence as a universal solution. Instead, it promotes reasoned decision-making and measured responses. There are ways to use silence effectively while also considering the emotions of others. 1. Differentiate between necessary and unnecessary silence. Not all silence is beneficial. In cases of toxic relationships or situations where ongoing communication causes harm, silence may be the best option. However, in situations where mutual understanding is possible, a brief but respectful response can prevent unnecessary hurt. 2. Use silence as a temporary tool, not a permanent barrier. Silence can be used strategically for reflection and emotional stability, but it does not have to be indefinite. A well-timed response after gaining clarity can lead to more constructive outcomes than an immediate emotional reaction. 3. Practice Stoic compassion. While Stoicism values emotional control, it does not dismiss human connection. Seneca wrote, "Wherever there is a human being, there is an opportunity for kindness." Practicing silence does not mean ignoring the humanity of others. A short but sincere message acknowledging the rejection without bitterness can provide closure while maintaining dignity. If you are facing rejection and wish to respond with stoic silence while minimizing harm, consider the following steps. Acknowledge your emotions privately, accept that rejection hurts, but remind yourself that your worth is not defined by it. Refrain from immediate reaction, allow time for emotions to settle before deciding how to respond. Choose silence when necessary. If responding will only lead to unnecessary conflict or pain, silence may be the best option. Communicate when appropriate. If silence may cause unintended harm, a brief and composed response can prevent misunderstandings. Move forward without attachment, regardless of the outcome. Focus on personal growth rather than dwelling on the rejection. In conclusion, Stoicism teaches us that rejection is an external event beyond our control, but our response to it is within our power. Silence can be a powerful tool for maintaining dignity, self-respect, and emotional stability. However, it is important to use silence wisely, ensuring that it does not cause unnecessary harm to others. By balancing silence with wisdom and compassion, we can navigate rejection in a way that promotes both inner peace and healthy human interactions. Ultimately, the goal is not to punish those who reject us with silence but to cultivate strength and clarity within ourselves. By doing so, we embody the Stoic principle that true power lies not in controlling others but in mastering ourselves. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to the channel for more content like this.